Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Isaiah Hill, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Charlie and Chocolate Factory from the Tim Burton collection. Now, I am truly sorry about the Back to the Future Let's Play. The videos got swapped because I mentioned, I believe it was the fourth episode. I said, I'll check out the review of Willy Wonka. So if you guys were confused about that, I'm sorry. The videos got swapped, Weekend at Bernie's, but I'm truly sorry about that. Now on to this. As I said, it's part of the Tim Burton collection, which is a pretty cool box set. It contains Batman Returns. Sorry, just had to adjust that. Beetlejuice, Mars Attacks, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Charlie and Chocolate Factory, and Corpse Bride. Yeah, this is a pretty good collection. I actually like it. But on with Charlie and Chocolate Factory. This one is obviously directed by Tim Burton. I really don't remember who produces it. I'm not gonna lie, I might actually have to open it up and see. Doesn't even say, but I know who's in it. So, sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry that the light keeps going out, but there we go. Charlie and Chocolate Factory stars Johnny Depp, Freddie Highmore, and that's pretty much all I can remember. David Kelly, I believe, along with Christopher Lee. I like Christopher Lee, so you'd be expecting to hear a lot of positive things about him. Charlie and Chocolate Factory is basically, a lot of people consider it to be a reboot or a remake. Well, it's another adaptation. So, because a lot of people say that because they grow up with Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. And don't get me wrong, I love the film. This film I like as well, but maybe not as much because I grew up with Willy Wonka more. But I'll give an honest, non-biased opinion. I promise. Now, as I mentioned, the Willy Wonka review, I've read the book. And I'm going to try and I'm going to do two things, where one succeeds in following the book and one does not succeed. Okay. Charlie and Chocolate Factory basically has the same premise. Willy Wonka is opening up his factory. He's handing out golden tickets, and the whole world goes crazy. And five lucky kids get to go to the chocolate factory. So Charlie's played by Freddie Highmore, who I believe does a great job. I mean, a lot of movie critics and even of some YouTube personnel, they try and say, oh yeah, well, he's underdeveloped. I don't think he is, but I can see where they say that because a lot of focus is towards Willy Wonka. Now that's kind of confusing since Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory is all about Charlie, while Charlie and Chocolate Factory is more about Willy Wonka. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. Guys, I am so sorry for the lighting, because the lighting is horrible, but Charlie and Chocolate Factory, I say, is a rather much more faithful adaptation than Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Here's the reason why, because Tim Burton is a huge fan of Roald Dahl, from what I've heard, and he actually visited Roald Dahl's house, and he got permission to make the movie Charlie and Chocolate Factory. So many people have grown up with the Gene Wilder version, right here. It's almost okay, well, that's pretty much it. Gene Wilder, hands down. Charlie and Chocolate Factory, I believe people just judge it too quickly. I mean, yeah, it's easy to judge. Don't get me wrong, it is very easy. In particular, Johnny Depp's performance of Willy Wonka. But overall, the film follows the book quite well. A lot of people like Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka because he's like a James Bond villain. Now, that's pretty cool. But here, people are like, oh yeah, he's annoying, and he's weird, too weird. But in the book, Willy Wonka was like that. Willy Wonka is this unusual guy. What do you expect this guy to be running a chocolate factory? Oh, now, performances. Peter Ostrom, I said Osborne the last one, I'm sorry. He does a good job as Charlie. Freddie Highmore does a good job. And what I find cool is, instead of For example, Violet being just a gum chewer, and my TV being obsessed with TV. They kind of upgrade, like how Violet is like this winning obsessed champion, like gum chewer, and my TV is obsessed with video games, but also TV. Veruca, in my opinion, is even worse. In this one, like she comes off so bratty. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like in the first one, she is awful. Like I don't like her, but here, like she is just horrible. Violet is horrible. Violet's like so mean. She's mean to Charlie for no reason. Augustus Gloop is even mean to Charlie. Mike TV really is not that mean to him, but he still kind of is. But like, anyway, like Charlie is obviously the poor boy. And this one's not much of a musical. The musical numbers don't begin until you enter the chocolate factory. Now, here's a thing like that a lot of people forget. The lyrics from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's like book are in the movie. All the songs for Willy Wonka were all made up except for the tunnel, which is actually in the book, and this one doesn't contain a song in the tunnel, but that doesn't bother me. But in my opinion, this is a rather faithful adaptation. Now, does that make it a good movie? Not really. But like I said, I'll try not to be biased. Let's get the elephant out of the room. The biggest thing that a lot of people hate on this is Johnny Depp's performance of Willy Wonka. They're like, oh yeah, it's a horrible performance. He comes off too annoying. He comes off like this Michael Jackson-like type character. He's just not enjoyable. And I said that's fine. But when you get like Gene Wilder's performance, you will think back to it. Like, I'm sorry, I just had to look over there. You think back like, oh yeah, this was a guy who just he was unpredictable. Here he's unpredictable, and you do not know really what he's thinking about, which is pretty interesting. You have no idea, and that's what makes it. With Charlie and Chocolate Factory, it has Tim Burton's like approach to visuals. Like Tim Burton is a very visual director. Like he shows you like so many things. Like you would be like, whoa. He's a rather interesting fellow per se. He makes these characters either really likable or you just really don't like them, but that's his charm. Tim Burton is a director that I believe like many people should just actually sit down and just watch and analyze his films. Charlie and Chocolate Factory has some music by Danny Elfman. I love Danny Elfman's music. I love them in Men in Black, Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's pretty much it with that. But he does a good job like with the musical numbers in this film. Like you get like a Broadway show, like for Augustus Gloop, you get like a disco, and in Violet song, you get like a hippies rendition. You get like an 80s rendition of My TV's. Oh yeah, the hippies is Veruca. I really enjoy it, but like another thing a lot of people do not like is the Oompa Loompas. Like how they have like Deep Roy. It was the same actor play every single Oompa Loompa. And it was just like a lot of CG, but sorry, it never really bothered me. But I could see like where people were like, oh yeah, we're used to the orange face, green hair, striped overalls with brown shirts and white gloves, and like with the weird shoes. Granted, I can see where people get that, but in my opinion, is it an amazing movie? This is like where it gets mixed. Like it's in between a great and amazing. I'll probably have to give this film a great. And I'm not done with the review yet, guys. I give it a great because the acting is pretty good. The visuals are there in its faithfulness, but overall where I think it fails is like it kind of feels rushed, and I that could just be me, but in my opinion, like it feels rushed. Like they're like when you get to like the factory, like okay, let's just dropping off the kids. We know what happens. One gets up to buy a pipe, one chews the gum and has to be out. One goes down a garbage chute. One has to go to taffy puller. And then there you go, like to me, that's how it was. And I felt like if you just went like a little bit more, it could have been better. Like that was kind of also one of my complaints with Roald Dahl's book. Like I felt like it felt rushed. Now that's just my opinion. For all I know, this could be the greatest film you ever seen or the worst film you ever seen. But I give it a great, which is still pretty high. Willy Wonka, I have to give it amazing because I like the musical numbers. The fact that it's not too faithful to the book is in my opinion, kind of makes it a little better. The kids, for some reason, you have much more of an attachment. Because like Augustus Gloop, no one's like really like mean to Charlie. Like no one's like mean to like to the kid that you want to see like succeed. But everyone here just like is mean. Like Augustus Gloop offers Charlie chocolate, and he's like, "Will you like some chocolate?" Charlie's like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Well, maybe you should have brought your own." And some of the parents, like this one, like has like an extended, like where Mike TV's dad's like, Mr. Wonka is like a few cents short of a buck, and Veruca's dad's like, "I'm sorry, I don't speak American." Like, wow, that's interesting. But what I will give this film praise for is that the visuals are like amazing. Like this is like where it gets difficult for me to rate a film because like if the visuals look great, the acting's great, like everything just looks great, but there's something there that I wish there could have been. Like I kind of wish that the film could have expanded a little bit more, but that's my opinion because like that's how I felt with Willy Wonka, like how it's expanded more. And the thing is, like with this film, the acting, Willy Wonka, like Johnny Depp's performance never bothered me. It never had bothered me. Freddie Highmore, I thought he does a great job. I like Freddie Highmore in the film, the Spiderware Chronicles and the show Bates Motel. If you want to see a really good show, in my opinion, watch Bates Motel. You would not believe that a little kid from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory playing Norman Bates. And he's also in The Good Doctor. That's a really good show. My mother got me into that. And I highly recommend those. Freddie Highmore has really grown up into being a very successful actor, in my opinion. And he's an amazing actor. Now when we get to the parents. The parents, like, you don't like the parents. The only person that you like is really Grandpa Joe. And that's really it. Sorry, that was my foot. My feet have been killing me all day, guys. Like, I just had to walk all over school today. It's amazing, like, how even Willy Wonka's dad, played by Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee as Johnny Depp's father. Wow. Christopher Lee does such an amazing job because he's, like, a villain, but he's a good guy. Like, when you see him, like, he's a dentist, so of course he's not gonna like candy because, of course he both likes candy and he hates candy. The main reason why he likes candy is because, like, when kids need to, like, go, like, see him because, like, cavities or, like, all sorts of things, that's how he makes his money. But he doesn't like candy for Willy Wonka because he's like, oh, it causes all these cavities. And Willy Wonka has, like, this giant headgear. And Christopher Lee's, like, sending all this chocolate. And it's like cavities on a stick. And all this chocolate, like, and he burns all the chocolate. Because he says, I don't want you to have any more, like, dental problems. But then, like, as Willy Wonka goes on, he has chocolate and he starts experimenting with all this candy. And Christopher Lee goes into, like, saying, like, no son of mine is going to be a candy maker. And Willy Wonka's like, then I'll just run away. And he's like, very well, but I won't be here when you come back. And you see him, like, where he's like, what did I just do? And then when you meet Christopher Lee again, it is such a heart-wrenching scene, in my opinion, because it shows that even though he didn't approve of what his son was doing, but he still loved him and he supported him. Like, like Charlie goes in the back room and he sees like all these newspaper clippings, all these pictures, all these things of his son that he saved up because he's like, that's my son. My son did all this. And it has like a very healing because like because like Willy Wonka comes to terms like with his father, and they share a very nice scene. Like the kids like learn. In my opinion, the kids don't learn. It's the parents. My bad. The parents learn from like what they're doing. Like, okay, he's not gonna be a glutton. She's not gonna be like this obsessive champion. She's not gonna get whatever she wants. And he's like, I don't even know what Mr. TV's like idea was gonna do now. I guess no more TV for like a year. And it's great like that you see what happened to the kids compared to like Willy Wonka, like where you don't know what happened. And I believe this film does have a lot of heart. It has a lot of heart. It has like a lot of spirit. The film comes off like great, but I feel like there could have been more. And another criticism I have is that I wish that we had like, I don't know, like I wish that we had more about Charlie than Willy Wonka, because Willy Wonka gets like the spotlight. But granted, Johnny Depp, he's a great actor in my opinion. This is a film I recommend to anyone, and I mean anyone. But it's but I recommend it. It's not like Weekend at Bernie's, like where in my opinion it's a great, but I wouldn't recommend it because I'm kind of worried that people will be like, oh yeah, like how the film is. But Charlie and Chocolate Factory I do recommend, like at least give it a watch. Willy Wonka I highly recommend. This one I recommend because I feel like not many people give it a chance. They immediately bash on it because there's like no Gene Wilder, there's none of this here. But I think that people should just check it out. Charlie and Chocolate Factory was released in 2005, and the screenwriter was John August, and he had never seen Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, and he asked Tim Burton if he should watch it before writing the script. Tim Burton said no, so he wrote the script, and when the film was like in production, he watched the movie, and he was surprised how darker that version was compared to what he wrote. And yeah, it is true. This version is darker because you don't know what happened to the kids. Here, you know what happens to them, and you know what they do. And I like the musical numbers. Even though they're short, but I like them. I feel like this film gets hated on too much, in my opinion. I feel like there is good in this film, and I believe people should just give it a chance and not judge it too quickly. I mean, it's not for everyone, obviously. Neither is Willy Wonka. Some people hate Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory for Charlie's, which I found quite interesting because usually it's the other way around. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I recommend Charlie and Chocolate Factory. It's usually like really cheap on Blu-rays and DVDs. It was on Netflix for a while. I don't know if it's still there. Probably not, but anyway, yes, I recommend it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you guys wish to see more of my reviews, my Let's Plays, subscribe. If you guys want to ask me anything or request anything, like comment down below. And also, I'm going to be coming out with another series. It's going to be called Movies I Have Seen But Do Not Own. And to be expecting that probably like once a week. Like, because I need to think of this like for a while, because like some of the movies like I haven't seen in a long time but I don't own. I mean, I probably will find one on like Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon. But anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Isaiah Hill, signing off.